There's no doubt in my mind that what she sees is real in her mind, but can it be truly possible that she has seen something that really exists, not just in the twisted imagination of a disturbed child? If what she says is true, what was it?
From out of the timeless present, the Weird Circle Squared presents an eternal tale. What was it?
Hey, Ned. There's a package for you. Looks important.
What is it? What am I looking at here? An old-fashioned tape?
Oh, cool. Old-fashioned reel-to-reel tape. There's a note, too. Dear Mr. Saunders. Ooh, so formal. A friend recommended your services for a distressing problem. I hope you might be able to assist me. I discovered the enclosed tape recording and invite you to come to my home to investigate at your earliest convenience. It is with some urgency that I look forward to your visit. Sincerely, Mrs. A. Dimity.
It's old, a little dusty. Finally, we've got a good use for that junky old reel-to-reel player.
Hey, I was recording with it just last week. You know this vintage gear works the best for capturing unusual sounds.
Sure. Throw this thing in. Let's hear it.
You bet.
You may begin now, Doctor. I think it is recording.
Thank you very much, Countess. Anne, are you prepared to begin?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be, Doctor.
All right. Now, please, Anne, tell me a little about yourself.
Well, where does one begin? I came to live with the Countess a short time ago, when her health started to decline. She didn't have any family left to care for her, and I never had one to care about me. I didn't really have a home before this either, not a real home. I've loved it here. I've been able to learn a lot about art from the Countess. I've been able to learn a lot about many things.
How is your health? Do you eat well? Sleep?
Old Grey Whiskers is at the window. I'll try to shoo it away.
No need, Countess. We'll try to ignore it. And do go on.
Well, I feel healthy, yes, I suppose. Countess Harkaby keeps a well-stocked pantry, that's for certain. And I sleep well enough, as long as it's not interrupted.
By the dreams, you mean?
That's just it. I really don't feel that I've been dreaming the things that...
Poppycock. Balderdash. If you wish to work through this, the first step is to abandon the foolish notion that we are talking about anything other than dreams here.
Dr. Hammond, while I defer to your expertise on matters of the body, I find it rather lacking regarding matters of the mind. Sensitive souls are open to many an experience that closed minds are not. After all, you can see the extraordinary artwork that Anne has produced. And as long as you doubt the extraordinary, how can you create it?
Countess, I simply must insist that you put a stop to... What in God's name?
Dude.
Ben, what was that?
I don't know, Ned. We gotta check this out.
Her address is on the letter, but no phone number. I guess we'll just show up.
I'll pack some of the other gear. This might be it, Ned. A real ghost or something.
Yeah, something. What was it?
Is this it? It doesn't look like anyone lives here.
This has to be it. The number stopped back there, and it's a dead-end road. Let's go to the door.
Strange old place. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. What is it, turn of the century?
Gotta be that, at least. I don't think that doorbell's working, Ben.
I don't think anybody's home, Ned.
Yes?
Mrs. Dimity?
Yes.
I'm Ned Saunders. You sent me a tape.
Ah, Ned, come in, come in. I'm glad you could come, Ned, but you brought a friend.
Name's Ben Walker, ma'am.
Yes, well, I was only expecting you, Ned. You alone?
Ben's my camera and sound guy, Mrs. Dimity, and my best friend.
Yes, well, this is a rather sensitive matter.
I can assure you, ma'am, we both take it totally seriously. What I heard on that tape convinced me that we had to come.
So you heard the tape then? Well, perhaps it's best that you're here. Come, let us speak in the dining room.
I'll catch up, Ned. I'm just going to get some shots of the front here.
So, Ned, you went to school where?
No, I didn't go to school.
Oh, and what's your background then?
Accounting.
What the? This is Ben Walker, investigator with Ghost Seekers. I'm here at the Dimity House, 1416 Willowcrest Road. Not sure if you can hear it over the wind, but it sounds like... I don't know what it sounds like. Some sort of creature.
Mr. Walker?
Huh?
Come, Mr. Walker. If you are jumping at the sound of the wind, I fear that you won't be able to help me solve my problem at all.
But did you hear that? What was it?
But there's quite a storm outside, Mr. Walker. Now, please join us in the kitchen.
So tell me, Mrs. Dimity, why are we here?
Well, you were recommended to me by a friend. You heard what was on the tape?
Yes, Mrs. Dimity, but those tapes are old. Gotta be at least 40 years or so.
Well, that may be so, but I believe that I have heard something recently since I came to this house.
Yeah, like what I just...
Now, Ben, that was just the wind. This is something else entirely.
But...
Ben, let her explain. You just came here recently.
Yes, I recently took possession of this house from an estate sale and have been slowly exploring it. The first tape was found on a bookshelf.
First tape?
Oh, yes, I've found another one since then. This one was in the parlor.
Recently took possession? Judging by the dust, this place has been empty for a while.
Indeed. It has been quite some time since I was last here to visit my aunt.
So your aunt, she's,
Yes, Ned. She passed rather suddenly, but the letter reached me recently.
So you came here, found the tape, and then called us?
As I was saying, I have heard strange noises in this house. Scratching noises.
But couldn't that just be mice or rats or termites?
At first, I thought so too, but I called in a specialist to look through the house, and she turned up nothing. No sign of rodent or bug or no weakened wood.
That's a long way from calling us, Mrs. Dimity.
Ben.
I'm just saying, we're not high on the list for home inspectors.
Ben, the lady has called us here. Have a little respect.
Now, Ned, don't be too hard on your friend. Ben, you are correct. I have had a couple of cleaners, a carpenter, and a plumber all come to the house before you.
And?
The carpenter was only here for a day. He claimed he kept getting the feeling of being watched. The cleaners managed to get through part of the upstairs of the house before leaving on the first day. They did not return, and I received a note some time later telling me, we will not return to your devil house.
Do you still have the letter, Mrs. Dimity? I'd like to examine it.
Of course, Ned, of course.
And the plumber?
What? Oh, yes. Lovely old man. He had a bit of an accident in the basement. Scratched himself pretty badly. He should be back in a day or so.
So, Mrs. Dimity, tell us about the tape. What do you think it is?
Well, you see on the label on it, the initials DCH.
Yeah?
I believe those stand for Dr. Charles Hammond.
Do you know Dr. Hammond?
I believe he was my aunt's personal physician.
So, is it Dr. Hammond on the tape and your aunt?
Dr. Hammond, yes. And the Countess Harkaby, who owned this house prior to my acquiring it. That other voice was a woman called Anne.
Who's Anne?
A charge of my aunt's. A young woman of some skill at sculpture, but troubled at times. She had grown up in foster homes, bouncing from place to place until finally coming to settle here.
A sculptor?
Oh, yes, and quite good. You can see her work all over the house. Unusual pieces, quite evocative. Many of them have been covered up with cloth. I presume they did that when my aunt died, to discourage looters.
So, back to the tape. This is some sort of therapy recording between Dr. Hammond and Anne?
As I said, Anne was a troubled girl. Dr. Hammond was a medical doctor, but in those days they often also served to help soothe the mind. He did his best to help. He was a kind man.
Is Dr. Hammond still around? I'd love to talk to him.
No, I'm afraid he died many years ago.
So, whatever it was that was disturbing Anne, you think that it's connected to the house?
I do. The scratches and presences I've felt. I'm sure of it.
So, it's back. Whatever it was.
Yes, I believe it is. It has been most disturbing.
All right, Miss Dimity, we'd like to look around a bit.
Of course. Feel free to go anywhere in the house. And you stay the night, too. The noises, they seem to be stronger at night.
This is only a preliminary.
We can stay the night, Mrs. Dimity.
Oh, all right.
Oh, excellent. I'll just go and freshen up your rooms upstairs.
Ned, what are you thinking?
What?
Look, there are only two scenarios I can see here. Either the old lady really has felt something real, and that thing on the tape is connected, meaning it's something that has been around for decades.
You heard it, right?
No. Well, maybe. I heard something. It might have been the wind. Anyway, either it's real and we're getting involved in something odd and interesting, or...
Or what?
Or she's crazy, and we're staying in a rat-infested, creepy old house that's falling apart at the seams.
What's wrong with you? I thought you'd want to jump on this. It's a pretty good chance at an actual haunted house. After years of reading about things and wishing for proof, this is it.
But we could do research. We'd look into who owned the house, see if there's a burial ground around here someplace. Be prepared.
Ben, I'm telling you, this is the chance of a lifetime.
Yeah, I just hope it's not the last chance. What was that?
It sounded like it came from through there. Quick, grab your camera and the recorder.
Right behind you.
Over there! Turn the camera light on, Ben.
What the... Damn, it's not working.
I thought you charged the batteries up.
I did.
Let's just find a light switch around here.
I guess you should have called an electrician as well.
All right, just shine your phone over here. It will have to do. I think that sound came from over here.
What is that?
It looks like all the books just got knocked off the shelf.
I think the floor must be rotting around here. Careful where you step. I bet the shelf just cracked the floor below it.
But why now?
What's that on the edge of the pile? The light just caught something.
It's another tape.
Are you kidding me?
It's labeled tape 5.
Here, I grabbed the portable reel-to-reel. Let's play it.
Nothing.
There's a volume knob on the side.
Still nothing.
Did you turn the speakers on?
No.
For only you know what truly lies beyond the veil. Spirits, come forth. Let your presence be known.
If I were a spirit, that tambourine would be enough to...
Silence. There are no voices in the realm of spirits.
Aside from that of the illustrious Countess Harkaby, of course.
Doctor, please, let her continue.
Doctor, precisely. The Countess is my patient, and I don't feel that it's healthy or productive to encourage this sort of foolish play acting.
Hear their cries. The spirits have arrived. Ask your questions and know the truth.
This is an absolute farce.
Isn't this what you've asked for, Dr. Hammond? Proof that what I've been experiencing isn't all in my head?
Do you honestly think there's a shred of truth in this charlatanry?
The skeptic will have his answer.
No, what in the devil?
Dr. Hammond, what's the matter?
I've been bit. There's an animal loose.
Oh, heavens. Something must have upset Grey Whiskers.
That was no blasted cat, I know that much for certain.
The gnashing of teeth in the dark, the abyss that swallows men whole.
Oh, I'm bleeding like a stuck pig, damn it. Give me some light.
I'll get the switch, Doctor. Oh, my lord.
Oh, it's bad, Anne. I'll need a tourniquet.
I'll try to find a rag.
The question is answered. From beyond the veil comes... Doctor, what was that at your feet?
Oh, is this you asking, or are you still speaking on behalf of the spirits?
A machine? Were you recording our session of spiritual contact?
I was making a recording of proceedings that I felt were detrimental to the improvement of both of my current patients, Anne and yourself, Countess. I think that's well within my rights as a doctor.
You are learned, Dr. Hammond, but not all knowledge is fact. I think you'll find that you're mistaken about what's best for Anne and me. In time.
Why must this be a contest of wills? And furthermore, why call upon me at all if you don't trust my expertise and my craft?
When it comes to treating my physical ailments, I trust no one more than I trust you. Let me help you. You're bleeding quite badly.
What did this to me, Countess? How have you done this?
I have done nothing but pull back the veil, Doctor.
All I could find was some old sackcloth, but I think we can...
It's all right, Anne. Countess Harkaby sacrificed one of her doilies.
Oh, well, I haven't been much help.
Nonsense. You are a great help in more ways than you know.
What was it?
I beg your pardon?
What was it that bit the doctor?
Something impossible for us to fully comprehend.
Yes. Well, I'm sure we'll comprehend more fully in time.
That cat must have trapped himself somewhere again.
No, I'm not convinced. Come, let's investigate. I'm sure whatever bit me can't be far behind that wailing.
The gnashing of teeth, the wailing pangs upon her, the wailing pangs upon her. Soon.
What was that?
Shh.
Boys?
Ah,
Oh dear. I didn't mean to startle you.
we heard a noise.
There are some books. They fell off the shelf, and
There was another tape.
how are you moving around? There's no light.
Another tape?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Why don't we move back to the kitchen and you can explain it to me?
I'm going to get some new batteries.
Suit yourself. Shall we, Ned?
Sure. I'm amazed you can make your way around in here. It's pitch black.
Batteries. Ah, batteries. What was that? Is that you, Ned? Hey, who? There's nothing there. It's like, it looks like something was here. This impression in the grass. What the? It looks like there's something there. It's solid, but I can look right through it. It feels, feels kind of slimy, like, oh, ah. Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh! Oh crap! Ned! Oh crap! Ned! Ned!
Did you hear something?
Oh, Ned, you're sounding as nervous as your friend. The wind blows stronger out here in the countryside. That's all.
Speaking of Ben, I wonder what's taking him so long.
Oh, I almost forgot. I found another tape when I was upstairs. Here you are.
Amazing! What luck! Ben's got to hear this.
But you have the player right here. Why wait for Ben? I'm just dying to hear it.
All right. This one is labeled Tape 10.
These are the dictated notes of Dr. Charles Hammond. I had hoped by now to have a better explanation for the strange things that have been happening here, but I am considerably less certain of myself at this point than when I first began treating the Countess for her consumption. I am familiar enough with the trappings of charlatans that I feel confident calling a horse, as it were. However, there are certain corporeal realities, undeniable in the way that they have manifested in themselves, that I find impossible to explain. And to make matters worse, Anne has been driven into a mania by the stress. Day by day, she's producing more and more statues, the likeness of which... Oh, the damned howling! And the statues, piles of them with horrible, twisted mouths and far too many teeth, staring at me. I'd smash them all if I could. More serious a concern is the obsession Anne is demonstrating, not for the statues themselves, but for their inspiration. She has taken it upon herself to spend our sessions enlightening me on the finer points of its physiology. Today she explained in detail how the creature feeds by unhinging its jaw and swallowing prey whole, like some varieties of large snakes. That's disturbing enough in itself, but I can't help but be reminded of the distressed state of the cat before its bizarre death. It seems quite possible that...
Doctor, we heard a crash. Is everything all right?
Yes. Quite all right, Anne. Quite all right.
It would appear Dr. Hammond is not a fan of your work, dear.
But I'm sure that was just a mistake.
Perhaps you should tell her the truth, Doctor.
Which truth, Countess? You've been insistent all along that yours is much different from mine.
Tell her your true feelings regarding her art.
Yes, tell me the truth.
And the truth is, I think you're a wonderfully talented artist, but these statues are vile, and your fixation on them is quite unhealthy.
I honestly can't believe you would say something like that, Dr. Hammond.
I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but...
And now you see, Anne. Just another skeptic, lacking the imagination and the empathy to appreciate truly great works.
Now that's enough. Countess, I don't know why you brought me here. It's been clear for some time that your illness was not the reason behind it all. And I don't know what end goal you might have in mind, but I absolutely will not have any further part in it. And I'm going to do my utmost to see that Anne is removed from your care.
But this is the only home I've ever had.
It is a cold and callous man who would take that away from a sensitive young woman. And you may find that you would not do so unopposed.
Is that a threat? Away with you, you devil!
Doctor, stop. You're destroying my work.
And she's destroying your mind. Don't you realize that, Anne? I'm not sure how the Countess is orchestrating these tricks, but she is behind it all, and I still intend to prove it.
You would deprive her of the very thing through which she will achieve greatness.
Stop. I don't need either of you to speak for me. A troubled childhood doesn't necessitate a weak will. My art is my own, my heart is my own, and I'll handle each of them as I please. Countess, you may think yourself the gatekeeper of the otherworldly, but in reality, you're just a peeping Tom at the hedge. I've touched it. And Dr. Hammond, if you consider me fit in all other matters, why would you take such issue with my embracing my muse to the fullest? Are you afraid of the statues? Are you afraid of me?
Well, then tell me this, Anne. Was it one of your statues that bit me?
I'm sure you've come to a conclusion already, but you're trying to ignore it. So just clear your mind and ask yourself, what was it?
Jesus God, it's here in the room!
Oh dear, I always hoped that Dr. Hammond would like those statues.
What is that?
I've always liked this one. It's called Creature in Repose.
It's hideous.
Oh, now, I don't think it's that bad. I sold one very much like it at an auction to a fellow from that university. What was it? Miskatonic?
Maybe I better see what Ben's up to. What was that?
You see the sort of noises I've been dealing with. Come, let us discover the source.
Is that what you've been hearing? But that sounded huge. Hey, let go of my arm.
Come along, young man. No point in delaying the mystery. Isn't this exciting?
You've got an iron grip, lady. That's starting to hurt my arm. Hey, Ben!
Oh, there's your young friend.
Let go of me, lady. Ben, why are you just standing there?
Maybe you should take a closer look. Investigate.
Ben, why aren't you moving? Miss Dimity, why isn't he moving? Only his eyes seem to move. He's staring right at me. Why do you look so scared? Ben, it's like you're... Ben, Miss Dimity, he's not touching the ground. There's something. What is it, Mrs. Dimity? There's something around Ben. He's caught up in something. It's like a kind of slime or soft, it's like flesh. Help me get him loose.
Yes, Ned, like all too solid flesh.
But what is it?
Anne once referred to it as reptiloid, like a snake with a human body.
But I can't see it. Why can't I see it? And what's wrong with Ben? Oh God, Ben, what's happening to him? I can see his legs, but oh God, his feet, they're crushed, and his feet they look like they're melting.
Yes, it's quite an amazing creature, don't you think?
Are you crazy? Help me, Ben. Oh, Ben.
There's no use, Ned. Your friend is surely to die soon. I've seen it happen before. Oh, so many times before.
What?
You see, at first they were weak and timid, scratching, a little nibbling, desperate for food. The Countess thought they were spirits, and maybe she was partly right. But Dr. Hammond deduced they were flesh of some kind, and I think he was partly right, too.
I need to get something. Something heavy. Help me. Damn it.
Oh, but I am helping you, Ned. Don't you see?
What? You crazy old woman.
When the good doctor decided I should try to make a model of the things that apparently only I could see, I thought it was a grand idea. Finally, I would change his mind.
The lamp, that's the only heavy thing around.
But the statue had a strange effect on the creature. Why, it positively adored me.
Ben! Oh God, oh God, oh God! What's that smell? That was an oil lamp.
Once they came to be under my control, I learned so much more about them. I learned why they made such pitiful noises, for example. And oh, poor Grey Whiskers, my cat. But that's when I learned what they needed to eat.
Ben, there's a chance. If I can't beat it to death, maybe I can make it feel fire.
You see, they need meat to survive. In particular, living creatures provide it with the nourishment they need. Once I figured that out, I learned that they can go for a long time without eating, but if they are fed well, they get tremendously strong. Wait, Ned, what are you doing with that lighter?
You're crazy, lady. Sick and crazy. See, this thing, it's eating my friend. Eating him. Let's see if it lights fire.
What? No, you can't. No, you can't. Not my baby.
I'm sorry, Ben. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh.
Kid? You all right, kid? Was this your house?
What?
Is there anyone else inside?
Ben.
We got someone else inside. Anyone have eyes on?
I got one in here. It's no good, Chief.
Oh, I'm sorry, son. He looks like...
fire!
Hey, it looks like we got a spark over there. Get a hose on that. What the? It's like the fire's floating off into the woods.
The creature!
What?
It was the creature! Invisible! Invisible!
What? What? What was it?
From the time-worn pages, we have gathered here together to hear What Was It? Based on the original 1943 script by Fitzjames O'Brien for the original radio drama serial The Weird Circle. This script reimagined by The Weird Circle Squared, rewritten 2019 by Mark Kilfoyle and Greg Everett. Featured in the cast were Chris McCullough as Ned, George Cross as Ben, Carol Ann Daigle as Mrs. Ann Dimity, Kay Brookland as Countess Harkaby, Greg Everett as Dr. Hammond and firefighter, Aaron Bond as young Ann Dimity, Mark Kilfoyle as fire chief, and Roger Jean as your host. Remember, this was a production of The Weird Circle Squared. Toll Keeper, toll the bell!